What's going on, everybody? I'm Charles Green, and we're going to talk about don't chase money, chase the opportunity. It took me a long time, for some years, to grasp that, to really learn that and understand that. It took me now being in my 40s to really know what that means. For a long time, I was chasing money, didn't realize it. I wasn't out there focusing on my purpose and all that. I was doing everything but that. And like they say, we live and we learn, right? The older we get, the wiser we get. That's very true. Very true. And I'm trying to help others grasp that whole thing. Don't chase money, chase opportunity. I'm trying to get others to understand that logic. And how do we do that? By changing our mindset. I'm going to always speak on that. I know a lot of y'all that's been watching me probably like, man, you always say that. I'm going to continue saying it because that's the main thing. Changing the way we think, the way we see stuff, the way we look at stuff. And God gave us all a purpose. All of us, when he created us, he gave us all a purpose. He gave us all a gift. Our gift is our purpose, which is your passion. Anything that you're very passionate about, that's your gift and your purpose. All in one. And that's what you work off of. You turn your passion into your reality. Whatever it is that you're passionate about, turn that into something. That's what you build your skills off of. And so, don't just do it for the money. Always remember, opportunities attract money. Money ain't going nowhere. Money gonna always be here. Money gonna always be here. But it's about the opportunities that's gonna bring the money. Because you could be getting into some stuff that you don't even like, that you don't even have a passion for. Like, for existence. Here's one example. I worked at restaurants. I'm gonna be honest with you. It was, let's just say it was a job. Definitely ain't had no passion for it. I enjoy cooking. You know, I worked in pizza parlors. I worked at Little Caesars, and I worked at Pizza Hut, and I also worked at a restaurant that's no longer here. It was called Ryan's. Yeah, I worked at Ryan's for a short amount of time. They had me prepping there. I was prepping and washing dishes there. I was prepping food and washing dishes there. I wasn't cooking over there. But at Little Caesars and Pizza Hut, I was a cook. I was making pizzas and making the dough and all that. You know, I was doing all that. I enjoyed it, but I ain't had no passion for it. You know, that wasn't, because I like to cook. I do like to cook on my spare time. But far as a passion for cooking, nah, that wasn't never my go-to. And I always knew I wanted to be in business. I just didn't know what I actually wanted to do. Well, I didn't even realize I had forgot that I had some skills under my belt at an early age. You know, I was 10, 11, 12 years old. One of them three ages. Um, I was helping my aunt to run paper routes. You know, I was riding with her on her car. She was teaching me about routes. I was learning about how to deliver newspapers and how to follow routes and stuff. And we had this cassette tape. On that cassette tape, the company that she was working for, the newspaper company that she was working for, had their own instructor giving us directions from a cassette tape. It was awesome. Awesome. And that's when I learned about color sacks. I didn't even know what was a color sack was. I always called it a dead end. But when you had to circle around, it's a color sack. So I didn't even, I learned that. But yeah, I helped my aunt deliver newspapers. And then I helped a church member of hers, of my aunt's. My aunt had a church. She had a church member. Rest in peace to Miss Sherry. Her husband, Mr. Stanley, may him rest in peace as well. Both of them are no longer here with us. May both of them rest in peace. They was real good people. Real good people. And Mr. Stanley had me, he said, hey man, you need to come hang out with me one weekend. And I did just that. He said, come, I'm gonna show you, come run some routes with me. I ain't know what we was doing. He just said, come run some routes. I didn't care. I ain't had nothing going on that Saturday anyway, so. Matter of fact, we did it Saturday and Sunday. And he had me delivering phone books. These was the Sprint telephone books. It was the very first telephone books that we had with Sprint. They was the red kind before they turned green. They was the red phone books. And we was delivering them. So I didn't think of this at this time back then, that I was learning a skill, even when I was delivering the newspapers with my aunt. May my Aunt Deborah rest in peace. My Aunt Deborah McNeil, she's no longer with us. May her rest in peace. She was an entrepreneur. While she was building her tax accountant business, she was a tax accountant. While she was building her tax accountant business, she was doing paper routes. So, and that was a little part-time thing she was doing. And so, doing that with her, doing the paper routes with her, and the time that I spent with Mr. Stanley doing running and delivering telephone books with him, I didn't even know the whole time that I was actually learning a skill. I didn't even realize that. That was a skill that I was learning. And now I went back and I enjoyed it because I like riding. I like driving. And so that's what helped me it took a long time for me to really understand. And all this time I've been trying to work for other people, which I don't mind. Ain't nothing wrong with having a 9-to-5. I'm not saying that. If that's what you like, that's what you like. But I always knew I wanted to be my own boss, though. I always knew I wanted to call my own shots from day one. I knew that. I just didn't know what I actually wanted to get into, what kind of business that I wanted to do. So I had to go back to the drawing board, do some soul searching. Yeah, I had to do some soul searching. And so while I'm doing the soul searching, it took me back to when I was doing these routes with my aunt and with Mr. Stanley. And not just that. Just a few years back, me and my cousin, I had found a little gig that we to get into for the weekend, and I saw it on I think it was newspaper or Craigslist. Might have been Craigslist. Yeah, Craigslist. And guess what that was? Delivering telephone books. Yeah. When I seen that, I said, oh yeah, I'm going to jump on this because I'm already familiar with it. I hadn't delivered no telephone books in forever since Mr. Stanley put me onto it. And I always remember how me and him did it. And so, well, like they say, when you learn something, it'll never leave you. When you actually learn something, it's within you. It's in you. That's a knowledge that you ain't gonna never leave. And so, me and my cousin went and I hooked him up with, doing the telephone books and everything. And I wanted to do it. Number one, I thought about Mr. Stanley, and I haven't delivered telephone books since I was, doing it with him. And so I wanted to see if I still remember it, if I still had, if I still got it. And so when I got involved in it, it just came to me just like that. Everything just came to me. And so, yeah, they gave me a list of the address where I need to deliver this to and everything. So, yeah, I went on and did that. Everything just came back to me quick. How we loaded and unloaded the telephone books, because you got to load your own stuff. Yeah, they don't load nothing for you. You have to do it all yourself. So, yeah. It came back to me, and that's when I knew then, okay, I need to be into the carrier business. I need to start my own carrier business. And so, that's what I did. And it wasn't even a lot of money in that telephone book, but it gave me a skill, though. Your skills take you further in life. Your skills will attract the money that you want. That skill, and if you stick with that skill, be consistent with it, you could turn it into an empire. You could turn it into something major. You could it's about creating a system around your skill, which is your business. You could turn your skill into a business. That's what that's all about. And I've been sharing some information in the Facebook group, the medical carrier Facebook group. And I had a few people, I shared my story I got my first contract last month, and I've been working that contract. And I had a few people inboxing me on Facebook, on the Facebook Messenger, and was telling me, they really liked my testimony. And they said, man, you really gave out some real lucrative information. You didn't gatekeep or nothing. Ain't no need to gatekeep. Each one teach one, right? We all here to help each other. When you gatekeep, you ain't doing nothing but hurting yourself in the long run, because people, when they find out that you ain't really giving out no real true information, you're just giving out bits and pieces, that's not helping nobody. And God will bring you off your high horse when you do that. When you think you up, he will bring you back down. bring you back to reality and will humble you. That's a fact. He will humble you. So you always want to help others. Don't forget where you come from when you make it and become successful. Don't never forget where you come from. Because at one point, somebody had to give you information. Somebody had to help you, give you a hand. Don't never forget where you come from. Don't never forget who helped you, who gave you knowledge and wisdom. And first off, don't forget about God himself, the good Lord himself. Without him, won't none of us be successful. So always thank God first and help others, because he wants us to share. He wants us to teach others. We all learn from each other. Ain't no person bigger than the next. Never. But yeah. So that person, but they was asking me, they was telling me they liked the information that I gave out and everything, but they was also asking me about the pay. How well did that company pay that I was talking about, that I got the contract with? So I told them this. I explained to them about, don't chase the money, chase the opportunity. And because you might get in it, you might not like it. And you're doing it for the money, but you might not like what you do. But the money is good. You get what I'm saying? So opportunities, like I told them, it's money in everything. But you want to have a passion for what you do. You want to enjoy what you do. And when you do that, that's going to accumulate some real money for you, some real wealth for you. But it's all about creating a system around what you do, around your skills. But that's what I wanted to just share with y'all tonight. Do not just focus on getting money. Focus on skills. Focus on your purpose. Focus on the opportunities that God gives you, that he provides for you. He connects us with the right people when we focus on the right thing, which is the opportunity. He gonna put you in the right place at the right time with the right folks that's gonna help you to become successful. And with that being said, I'm gonna end that right there. I hope y'all like what I just shared and talked about. You like this, you like what I'm speaking on, you like this video here, share it, like it, subscribe to the channel. On that note, y'all have a blessed night. All right.